Hey, love, welcome back to my channel. I am so happy that you're here today. Thank you for taking the time for yourself to join me here today. We are going to talk about the single most important priority that you need to establish for yourself. This is it. Like, I'm going to be really honest. If this is the only thing that you do, this is going to make a massive shift in your life, in the way that you're showing up on a day-to-day basis, in the way that you feel when it comes to overworking, having enough time, having enough energy, really leaving all that stuff in the past and being able to sustainably show up towards the success that you're wanting to create. This is it. It's crazy. It's one thing, but this is it. And it's super simple, actually. Before we dive in, make sure you scroll down to the description below. There are 3 free gifts that I have for you if you are wanting to dive deeper into this work and start implementing all the things that we're talking about here. There is also a free workshop that I do every single month called Feminine First. This is the only place that you can get me live and for free anywhere in my space. Like, this is it. So if you want to come and hang out with me, if you want to come and meet other ambitious and high achieving women who are really looking and ready and open to shifting out of this heavy masculine way of showing up and working and moving into the feminine, that's all that we're talking about there. Please come and join for the next month's workshop. Every single month we have a different topic, but like I said, it is all encompassed within this theme of how do you create and build a life where you lead and live with the feminine first. I would absolutely love to see you there. You can also scroll down and check out the 2 custom courses that I have if you want to create a little bit of a deeper transformation or a big, deep transformation in a group setting or in a course self-study setting. And then there are a few very accessible ways to work with me one-on-one. All right, let's dive into your single most top important priority that really is going to shift everything for you. What this comes down to is the way that we have been taught to show up to work, which is the top priority there, quite honestly, is have good structures in place, have good systems in place, know what your goal is, have the SMART goal, work backwards, and then execute, do until you hit that goal. And what that does is basically like putting this destination in the GPS, which is great. We love that. We need that clarity. However, what tends to happen then is the route that we're taking to get there, we have already decided that this is the route that we have to take. And if anything comes up, like if there's a little bit of traffic along the way, or if there's a roadblock, or if there's construction, we're like, no, we are committed. This is the way. We have to do it this way. And this is very much this masculine approach where when we create a structure, we really hold ourselves to that structure. We can think about this in a greater metaphorical sense as well when it comes to life. Like, have you been the person in the past, or maybe right now you are, or maybe you know someone who's like this, who has literally planned out their life to a T, from the time when they are expecting themselves to have their first job to when they want a particular promotion, from when they are expecting to be married or when they want their first kid. These are kind of the standard timeline markers that have been laid out for us by society. And so when we go into them and we are the kind of person who wants to control, I have a really, really great video on that, which I'm going to link right here for you, because this is a huge part of why the priority that I'm going to share with you in a minute is really hard to actually make the top priority, because we're trying to be so much in this masculine, because we have been taught that the more we can control, the more likely it is that we're going to have that outcome. So when you are that kind of person, or if you know someone who's like this, and we're trying to plan out these particular markers, those might be personal markers to you, like you genuinely do want to get married, you want to have kids, you want a particular promotion. 100% those are completely valid, but we're attaching pressure to it because of the timeline that we're creating with it. And so again, just to come back to my first point, the masculine loves the strict structure. And when we force ourselves into a structure that no longer feels good, that's not allowing the GPS to reroute us, right? So the single most important thing that needs to be your top priority is changing the way that you're showing up in your day-to-day life so that it gets to feel good all the time. When we're in the masculine, things don't tend to feel good. We tend to be forcing things, pushing things. There's often this energy of like neediness, like we need this to happen. There's some desperation. And when you think about like relationships, regardless of what side you've been on, you don't usually feel attracted to someone who is giving you needy energy, right? Who's calling and texting you all the time and who's like overbearing. And that's kind of how we're acting when we're too much in the masculine, trying trying to get our goal that we want so badly. We're being needy, we're being desperate, we're trying to make it happen. And so it's creating this really heavy and not feel good energy, essentially. And so what we really want to do is, first and foremost, to shift out of the masculine means leading with the feminine. And the way that we do that is we change how we are showing up, because the feminine isn't aggressively attached to the outcome needing to happen in a certain way. She's part of being in that goal, and the desire is there. Oh my God, wouldn't it be amazing to have this promotion? Or I know that I'm deserving of this kind of relationship, or of this kind of love or success in my life, or that I am going to be a millionaire. Like, I know that I am deserving of this, or this is my dream goal. But then she releases needing to control exactly how it happens. So what does this come down to? Let's talk about this number one priority. Your number one top priority is pleasure. Pleasure is the reason you are here. Pleasure is the reason that we are all here. And I want you to start making pleasure your number one priority. This might sound a little bit strange because there isn't a task list for how you can do this. It's really about you tuning into your intuition and leading from a place of pleasure. What would be really fun for me to do right now? Oh my God, could I be really excited about this opportunity? What if we did this thing over here? Getting into the conversation with yourself of, how can I infuse more pleasure into my life? With my clients, I call this creating their pleasure practice. How are they infusing pleasure as this top priority into their life? So back to my point from before, pleasure is literally the reason why you are here. We are in this life, we are in this experience as human beings to enjoy, because when we enjoy, we expand. We expand on an emotional level, we expand in terms of our energy. And when our energy expands, that expands what we are able to attract. I've talked about this a lot, but like attracts like. This is the core foundation of the science of energy. So if you are expanding on a personal level and you are expanding positive, good, high vibrational energies, meaning I feel good in my life, I feel grateful, I'm showing up in this pleasure feeling on a consistent basis, then you're going to be attracting that same experience back to you. The world only reflects back to you what you experience and feel on an internal level. Now, this doesn't mean bypassing negative emotions. This does not mean downplaying things that are factually happening in your life. It simply means starting to look for the areas, even if it's just 0.1% of your life, where you can say, here's a little bit of pleasure right now. I'm going to lean into that. And it doesn't mean we're disregarding, ignoring, or sweeping anything under the rug on the other side. It simply means we're trying, or we're not trying, we are training our brain to start seeing pleasure more in our lives. So again, what this does is it puts you into an expansive mode where you are able to attract bigger things, more aligned things, that next level result of success for yourself, simply by enjoying life, simply by enjoying the process of showing up to work, simply by enjoying the process of going on vacation or taking a weekend off and going to the farmer's market and looking at the fruits and vegetables and having your morning coffee. Like, where can you find these small pleasure moments? Because that's going to expand your understanding of where pleasure is coming from. And when you are in this receiving mode, especially when you're showing up to work, because if you can make work feel pleasurable and enjoyable, that's going to directly affect your results. This is that receiving mode. You're able to attract bigger and better things into your life. Okay, so kind of just to summarize all of this, the more pleasure you can find in your life, that is your top priority. Keep looking for the pleasure, even if it's small, and there's nothing that you need to really do. It's just starting to notice it. Okay, let me know in the comments below what your biggest takeaway was. I would love to hear what your pleasure practice is, or what you're wanting to incorporate. Has pleasure been your top priority? And if it hasn't, how are you going to make it your top priority? Make sure you like this video as well. Subscribe to the channel so you get updates on all the future videos that are coming out, and I will see you here next time.